Hey everybody, it's Patricia and welcome back to my channel. It is time for, I believe, part 4 of my Ultimate Eyeshadow Showdown. If you happen to have not seen the other parts, what I'm doing is going through each of my eyeshadow brands, going through each of my palettes that I own. I'm ranking them as I go, and then I'm picking my favorite palettes, setting them aside, and the last video in this series is I'm going to go through the palettes I've set aside as my favorites and then rank them. We'll go through them again and rank them. So yeah, this is part 4 and we're getting down to it. This is Huda and then miscellaneous. So that's it. Everything in my miscellaneous, there are 2 little palettes that are the same brand. Everything else I only have 1 of. So let's start with the Huda and get the Huda out of the way. We'll start with the big palettes and then move to the little palettes. I don't have these sitting here in order, so I'm just going to go through them, and as I go through them, I'm kind of ranking them. Let's get started. First, I have the Naughty Nude palette. I do not own her last large palette. I have all the others. So here we go. Naughty Nude. So pretty. This is my opinion. May not be your opinion. In my very first video, I did my Pat McGrath. And I had a couple Mothership palettes. The Mothership palette special shades, I think a lot of Huda's shadows are equivalent to the special shades in the Pat McGrath. My opinion. This is just my opinion. And so therefore, these sell for around $65. Huda's Motherships are $125, I think. I think this is your better purchase. But if you don't like Huda, I mean, but to me, I like Huda. I really like Huda's palettes. And I really like her shimmers and her special shades. She always comes out with some stuff. This jelly one, I'm not too keen on. I've used the jelly ones, put them on my eyes. I don't care for them. But this is a nice one. I really like this one. I love her mattes and I love her shimmers and her special shades. So there, that's Naughty Nude. Next I have, man, I'm cleaning as I go, people. I haven't used these, they got dusty. Empowered. Oh yeah, I believe this is the one of these shades, I can't remember which one, actually has gold in it. It's actual gold. I can't remember if it's Limitless or Charisma. I don't know. This one's a darker palette. Mainly it's a dark neutral palette. That's about the only thing that I wouldn't consider too much of a neutral. But yeah, I like that. It's so pretty. It's going to be so hard for me to rank these, truthfully. Next, I have the Rose Gold. Is this the original? The original. I have the original Rose Gold. Here we go. This is what it looked like. So you had your sleeve and then just a clear cover. And there we go. It's pretty. I've kept this. It is the original. It is not as the shadows do not perform as well as her later shadows. That's why she remastered it. I kept this because when she remastered it, she changed some shades, and so I wanted to keep the original. I do like this. I will admit I don't really use this anymore. This is more of a collection piece for me. I am going to hang on to it, but I don't really use it. But I like it. Let's go ahead while we're here and pull the remastered one out. You can see the difference. Look at there. See? This is the same palette, but remastered. There we go. Let me open Let me open this one back up. And we'll put them side by side. They're not going to match up perfectly because there are some differences. You can see in that middle row, there are some differences. Just like this shade right here. Shy. Yeah, Shy's not in this one. But we have Demure. That one's Demure. Yeah, they are different. Different colors. So it's a bit different. This one I do use a little more than I do. Look at that plastic it goes in. Yeah. So anyway, I have Rose Gold and Rose Gold Revisited or Remastered. Revisited. Remastered. This is the first Huda I bought, and it always holds a special place in my heart, and that's Desert Dusk. This is what made me fall in love with Huda. I absolutely love this palette. I hate to say last time I used this palette it did not perform well, so it's now more, it's just a collector's piece. I don't actually use it. That's gonna make them go down in ranking if I don't use them anymore. But I love this palette. Next, New Nude. I like this a lot. It's a little bit pastel-y, just a little. Look at that shade right there. I just adore. This one has 2 glitters in it, which I think people have pretty much stopped putting glitter in palettes. But that's New Nude. Rose Quartz. Here we got some special shades. This one is a real pretty multi-chrome. We've got another jelly one that I'm really not interested in. And there's some different finishes in the shimmers. So yeah. I like Rose Quartz. And then Mercury Retrograde. Yeah, look at there. It's more colorful. I think of the large pan, or the large palettes, this one is more comfortable. Now I'm going to go ahead and rank the large palettes and then my small palettes in the Huda, because it's going to get kind of, so my absolute favorite, because all of my large palettes I rank over top of all of my small palettes, just because they have more colors in them and stuff. But this is my number one. So number one is Mercury Retrograde, and I do believe I'm going to rank Naughty Nude second, with Rose Quartz third, Empowered fourth, New Nude fifth, Rose Gold Remastered sixth, Desert Dusk, and the original Rose Gold. That is my ranking. I am going to move Mercury Retrograde over, and I think that's all I'm going to move over for now. Yeah, I'm not going to move any more over. Yeah, no. Alright, let's go to the small ones. I have the Emerald Obsessions. And these little palettes, these 9-pan, are really great palettes. The eyeshadow formulation I love in them. And so I have nothing bad to say about them. I do like the green color story. Then the Smoky Obsessions. I always like that one. That one is so pretty. And then I've got Ruby. There's my red one. There are, I think it's just about as many reds in this as there is in that larger Jeffree Star red palette. What is it called? Blood Money or, no, not Blood Money. Blood Sugar. Blood Sugar. I think there's just as many reds in this little guy right here. Then I have the amethyst. I don't have the sapphire. That is one I wish I had picked up. I really do wish I had picked up the sapphire one. But oh well. Come and gone. Then I have the orange neon. This is the only neon I have. I remember when these all came out, the neon ones, I felt like this is the only one I really needed. And unfortunately, I don't use it as much. I think it is right up there with my Nomad Cartagena palette. They're very similar in color story. Then I have Wild Jaguar. Again, when I looked at these wild palettes, this is the only one that really spoke to me. I love this color story. I love this shade in the center. There it goes, swatching again. I love that shade. I think it's just so pretty. So yeah, there's that one. And then I have, of the haze, I only have the purple. I think that's a very pretty color story. And then I have, of the nudes, she had light, medium, and deep. I got the medium. I kind of wouldn't mind having the deep, and I wouldn't mind having the light, but I think more of the deep I would like to have. And then I'm going back to this gemstones. Or yeah, here's the gemstone one, and it's all shimmer. Again, my friend Aiden at English Pop Style gave me this one. She decluttered and gave me that one. And then I have the Mauve Obsessions. It's a favorite. It's a favorite. And then I have Topaz. So if I am ranking these small ones, I am going to go Mauve Obsessions first, followed by Wild Jaguar. Then I'm going to follow that with Smoky Obsessions. Then Purple Haze. Then New Nudes. And then all four of these, Emerald, Topaz, Amethyst, and Ruby, are going to be equal. They all fall equally next. Followed by my neon, just because they are neons and I don't use them that often. And then the gemstones, just because they are shimmer. Now, out of these, I am actually... No, I'm not. I'm not going to move any of those. Those aren't really my top eyeshadows. We might not move much from today's video. We'll see. But we might not. I don't think I'll move any more. Huda, can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Alright. Now we're going to get into the individuals. I do have two small palettes by the same company. It's Love Luxe Beauty. And these are two quads. I need cleaned up. This one is Bittersweet. Their special shades, what I call the special shades, have little plastic discs on them to keep them in shape. And then I have Frisky Flamingo. And again, this is I got taped on here. There was a plastic shade disc on that. Look at that. I'm not going to rank these one against the other because I really like both of these. So yeah, I will rank. I don't think I'll rank all of these. I'll just, as I go through these, decide if I want to move them into a favorites. We'll do that. Okay, next I have my only Beauty Bay palette, and it's a pastels. And that just screams retro 50s, not the actual 50s. I'm talking if you're trying to think back and recreate what people think the 50s is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you go to Cabana Bay Beach Resort at Universal Studios, that's our favorite resort to stay at. It's all 50s retro themed. This is like the color palette. This is the colors, you would think. I don't use this palette hardly at all. I will keep it because I don't have, you know, a lot of these colors. I like Beauty Bay's formulation. I don't know why I picked up that palette, because I didn't have pastel colors. I think that's why. Next, I have the original Alamar palette, the Reina del Caribe. I don't know, I'm butchering that. I did have her second one, and I ended up decluttering it. This is still a favorite color story. So, yeah, like that. I have my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. This is not the face. This is the eye. I find I use Jeffree Star's Cremated or Orgy palette over top of this one. I really should use this one more as well. This is the original. This one doesn't have shimmer. It's all matte, and I really should be using it more. This next one was given to me by my friend Clara. I forgot the name of her channel. I never remember the name of her channel. I'll put it right across the bottom here. It's a Suva palette, the Rose Period. And look, this palette I love. Look at that. Look, that's me. This is me in a palette. That's me in a palette. Oh, love it. Love those colors. I think this Harlequin, this shimmery, peachy pink is, oh, love it. Next, this is Mitchell. I got it from Beauty Bay, made by Mitchell. Mitchell, that's what they call it. Made by Mitchell. He is a YouTuber out of the UK, a makeup artist. I don't think he's as well known here in the States. But this palette is, what's the name of this palette? Oh, it's right here. Where Are the Mangoes? Where Are the Mangoes? And this, when I saw this, I'm like, I have got to have this palette. This is summer. And surprisingly, I can get complete looks out of this palette. I absolutely can. These two brown, or these, maybe, well, let's say these two matte browns, genius. Adding those to this palette made this a palette that you can use as standalone. Very well thought out, very well made. I really like this. I like these primary colors too. You don't see that a lot. I like that palette. I have one Ofra palette. This is Glow Into Winter. And it's got everything in it. This is a great palette. Lift off that way. This is a great palette to travel with. I should think of it more often. I never do think of it. But these are your eyeshadows right here. So for as just an eyeshadow palette, it's okay. It's the everything. But today we're not judging the everything. We're judging the eyeshadows. Those are pretty shades. This is nice. I'm glad and happy that I have this. It's not going to rank high because it is an all over palette more. Okay. I'm trying to keep here. Next, I have a Charlotte Tilbury, and I really don't know the name of this palette. It says Easy Eye Palette for the Charlotte Darling look. And it's a day and date palette. The little card is numbered 123 123. You take that off. See? It's a nice little palette. I can't remember where I got this. I didn't outright purchase it. It came from maybe it was a lucky bag. Maybe it was a lucky bag. I can't remember. But Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows are not my favorite. The formulation's fine. I find them very boring. They're a little too boring for me. Nothing wrong with, I mean, I started to say maybe the old me, but no, never me. The me in high school trying to hide the fact that I'm wearing makeup might have liked that palette. But yeah, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the palette. It's just boring to me. Next, I have this little small Dominique's Cosmetics Sweater Weather. This is not the full-size Sweater Weather. This came in a BoxyCharm or something like that. But I do like those shades. I like these. And they do remind me of kind of winter. So, I mean, I like it. Yeah, keep it around. Next, I have one Wayne Goss. This is the Luxury Eye Palette, the Imperial Topaz. It's very pretty. Very pretty. I believe this was a box, not a BoxyCharm, a Lucky Bag. My hand's itching. I think this was a Lucky Bag. I do like these shades. Are nice, basic shades. Not really my style, but I am going to keep it. These are nice neutrals. Nice neutrals. Next, I have the Ace Beauté Scarlet Dust Palette. I think my friend Gloria sent me this one. I think she got this in her BoxyCharm and she asked me if I wanted it. And I'm like, oh yeah, look at there. Oh, I love the orangey reds, the pinks. This is so pretty. This could almost be a Christmas palette, maybe. I like it. And I have one Sigma, and it's the Beachy palette. And it does remind me of beach. I think this is a nice all over complete look palette. You can definitely get complete look from this palette. It is very pretty. I like those blues. Next, I have one quad. I think this is a quad. Smith & Colt, and it's the Book of Eyes Mannequin Moves, Diary of a Beauty Junkie. And these shades, these are so pretty. Again, neutrals. I do wear neutrals with pops of color, but that is just so pretty. It's really pretty. This would be good to travel with. Now I've got a couple palettes that I recently got in Ipsy. So I got Pear Nova. I think I've used this twice now. It's pretty. I do like those shades. Those are me. The yellow to me doesn't really, well, I guess it goes with the gold, but I guess it can go with this. To me, I don't think this is an eyeshadow. I think it's more of a blush, maybe. I don't know. And then I have Lucky Chick. Daydreams by Lucky Chick. Oh, that's really pretty. It's a very interesting color story. The pigmentation is good. This is not a high-end kind of eyeshadow, but it's really nice. It's really pretty. And but it has glitter in the middle. It has a glitter in the middle. Okay, and then last, I have another eyeshadow brand that I have two of that I forgot that they had two of them, and that's Tarte. I'm pretty sure I had a lot more Tarte in the past, and I've just dwindled down. So I have Tartelette Toasted. I find that a very pretty palette. I really like that. It was between this and the Urban Decay, what was it, the Heat palette, and I went with the Toasted. I think Toasted came out first, so then I didn't buy the Heat. But the other one I have is I got this as a Christmas set. So it was just that year, and it's the Winter Wonder Glam palette, and I keep it in the box because sequins, gold back, yeah, packaging, but I find I use this a lot. Look at all the different shades, and I do use this a lot. I use it a lot other than Christmas. So that's it. Winter Wonderland. That is all of the shadows I have, not counting singles, and I don't know where I have my singles right now. Out of all of those brands that I only have one, or Tarte, I had two. I'm gonna move the Tarte Winter Wonderland over. I moved two this time. Of my single palettes, none of them are an absolute favorite. This comes close. This comes close, but I don't think it comes close enough to move over. So, everybody, that's it for my palettes. That's all of my eyeshadow palettes. So, in our next video, we will pull out all the ones that are in the final, and we'll go through them one last time. So guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That really helps me out a lot. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Your thoughts on any of these palettes, what you're thinking. If you're enjoying this series, let me know. If you're new to my channel, I would really love it if you would subscribe. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.